Hey guys, and welcome back to the channel. In today's video, we're going to be discussing when we're going to see the next generation STI, WRX STI. I think it's going to be the STI, but we're going to hop in my Miata and talk about it. You know, we're going to have more Subaru content coming to the channel as I start the new build, and it won't just be Miata content. We're going to get back on the Subaru grind, so if you want to see more Subaru related content, be sure you're subscribed to the channel because that's coming to the channel soon. And let's get into the video and get driving in this thing, and we'll talk about that next generation STI. So this is somewhat of a hot topic, and one of the reasons we are going to be driving around and discussing this today, but I think it's going to come sooner than we all expected. I think that the WRX, if you look at the numbers for the 2022 WRX, the next gen WRX, it's done really well. At first it wasn't doing well, but we've seen quite the rally in the last 2 to 3 months. Fortunately, this is something that bodes really well with Subaru's numbers and their development, and is kind of proving the use case for their sports car, because I think that the delay in the STI honestly may have been from some skepticism behind whether or not it was a good business choice for the platform, because Subaru is making plenty of money and they are bringing in better numbers on their flagship, you know, everyday kind of cars. So you might ask yourself, why are we talking about that when we are here for when is the next generation STI going to be coming out? Well, those are critical aspects about allocating engineering for the STI, planning, when does it make business sense, and just overall, when does it make sense to inject that car into the market? So early predictions and what the, you know, impromptu news coming from Subaru really was we were going to see it in somewhere the 2024 to 2026 range, and that it might come with a hybrid or an electric motor. So I'm going to make a separate video altogether discussing whether or not I think it's going to come electric or hybrid, or whether it's still going to be fully gas powered. But I am thinking, based off the numbers and what we're seeing with Subaru, their push for electric, their push for hybrid, and the demand for both the WRX and the clear disappointment between not having the STI and seeing the STI market for the V8 generation, the 2015 through 2021 STI absolutely boom. I think we've kind of we've checked all of the boxes likely that for them. And, you know, a lot of us are sitting in this seat where we understand, how can they not produce an STI? And I think we've gotten to the point where all of those things have now been proven to Subaru, and someone has to be making these conclusions. But the reality is because of all these things have checked, and that there is millions and more than millions of dollars behind their department, and it's not just me, my guess is that we're going to see it sooner than expected, and that's just because it makes sense. But I do think that we're going to see something that is completely differentiated. It is just going to be the STI, and it's going to be different. Again, another video we'll talk about the platform and the legs behind that car. But if I were to have to guess, now we are going to see the 2023 models coming out later this year. So all those, understand that the models come a year before. So when I say a model year, I really mean the year before, or you know what I mean. I think we're going to see the new STI come as soon as 2025, 2026. Now, what that really means is I think that we're going to see the first unveiling of the STI mid-2024, which might sound like a long time, but it's actually not that long. That's going to give them enough time to get the insights they need from the 2022, that next generation WRX. We're going to see as the marketplace what happens with the 2023 WRX, and it's going to give them more time to analyze the market and what they have to compete against, which I think is a critical thing. If they had released an STI with the 2022 WRX, they would have been competing against the Nissan Z, the 2-liter Supra, all of these other cars that now are very much contentious competitors. So again, I'm just guessing, but what I am really doing, I'm guesstimating. I'm taking real world numbers. I'm looking at other things that Subaru has done, other things that other car manufacturers have done, and just making my best guess at when we're going to see that car. It makes the most business sense, and to bolster the community sense, to release one in 2025 or 2026 and start the hype behind that car in mid-2024. We might see the first production models, kind of, my guess is late 2024, early 2025, and that's going to keep the market engaged. And I think that if we don't see that, if that's not the case, I think that Subaru might lose the community that they have. And by that time, you know, given 3 years down the line, the STI, we're still going to see a very much a community behind that. But what's going to happen is so many other cars from a performance standpoint are going to catch up in that time that a lot of those hard and hold fast STI owners in that community are going to leave, because there's going to be other platforms that deliver more for lower cost. And that is the big concern that I think a lot of manufacturers are actually becoming pretty, you know, cognizant of, because we're seeing higher performance vehicles. So guys, quick video. I know it's just a guess at this point, but I know if you've looked at other videos that I've produced in the Subaru news aspect, you know that for the most part, I've been pretty close. I mean, I did miss that we weren't gonna have an STI, which I think any of us would have missed it because we were really expecting one and we were expecting them to deliver. But other than that, I've been pretty on top of it. So definitely check some of those other videos out if you want to see kind of what I was guessing at. And again, it's all guessing. Anyone that says anything otherwise is lying to you, because we just don't know at this point. But I'm looking at, you know, what makes most business sense, the trends of the community, and most importantly, what other car manufacturers and historically what Subaru has done with similar situations that they've been put in, both in the pressure to deliver and just in what happens when their community starts to, you know, die out a little bit. They also have to be aware that the uptick of aftermarket support for the 2022 WRX is slower than any generation Subaru in the last 20 years, and that's because of the fear from the aftermarket side, and that's some real commentary for them. So hopefully you guys enjoyed the video. I'm gonna have a few more videos coming about the next STI, because I think there is some more information to cover. Most importantly, whether or not it's gonna be coming with an electric or hybrid motor, which I actually, you know, I'll give you a hint now. I'm fairly positive we're gonna see an electric motor, which I'm a little disappointed about, but I'm also excited about what that means for the competition. But we'll talk about it in a different video. So hopefully you guys enjoy the rest of the day, and stay tuned for, you know, that unveiling of the next car on the channel, which will be a Subaru. So it should be exciting. I'll see you guys later.